Thanks for joining me, everybody. So, anyways, I was down by the water. We lost the internet. Now we're up closer to the lobby. And if I lose it this time, I'll be back on again tomorrow at 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. But just know I'm here right now, and I think it's going to work out just great. Okay. I want to thank you for your patience, everyone. And I want you to understand something. When I talk to you from a personal point of view about things and not from a professional point of view, because that's what people say. Trust me, I'm a professional. But the reality is this: you are only going to be your beliefs. And what if my beliefs don't match yours, right? And understand, every professional, health professional, has been trained differently. We haven't been trained the same. We all have our own personalities. So let's talk about Ruth's question. Why are so many people dying? You say no COVID-19. Then what is your view on this matter? I didn't say there was no COVID-19. I just said, in my personal point of view, is my body is able to handle a cold and flu. The cold and flu does not exist anymore. Only COVID-19 exists. And like I was saying, when I lost the internet, Ruth, is that if those who are in charge are telling us, okay, that they're out for our best interest, then why aren't they shutting down 80% of the grocery store, which has GMOs, has pesticides, has dyes in it, carcinogenic? Why aren't they shutting down the corner stores, which offer nothing to our children and offer nothing to people except cancer-causing chemicals? Why aren't they teaching people how to food combine and teaching them that a fresh and raw diet and 3 bowel movements a day and drinking structured water is the way? Understand something. If we really took a look at things, we'd see that the majority of the population that is passing on from COVID, because everybody that passes in most hospitals around the world, okay, is marked down as COVID. Okay, so if they died of a virus or a cold or a flu, they're dying of COVID, even though they might have heart disease and diabetes, they might have stage 4 cancer, or maybe they're just so bloated and they're even a male and they look like they're 6 months pregnant because there's so much putrefaction in their body, which creates a lot of these viruses. Understand something, as Louis Pasteur said, is the terrain is everything, the bug is nothing. So go ahead, make a virus, okay, the most powerful thing on the planet, and that will make us the weakest thing on the planet. And to shut this down, for me anyways, our thoughts are everything. Our thoughts create matter. The invisible creates the physical. The psychological is in charge of the physical. Understand, do you remember the last time you were pissed off, angry? What happened? Well, you lost energy, didn't you? And you got a headache, or you ached all over because you were dumping adrenaline and cortisol into your body. You think that wouldn't create an environment for a virus to grow? What about the last time that you got depressed and you stayed there and now you've got depression? Okay, what about that? What about when you think you don't have a bright future? What if your perception is off? What if you only minded your own business and only focused on what you want in the world that you want to see and live in? That's all I've done during this time. That's all I've tried to teach people. Now, do you believe that I am the terrorist here? That because I'm not wearing a mask, do you believe because I'm teaching people that they need to drink structured water, they need to have 3 bowel movements a day, they need to, if they're really toxic, they need to do the ultimate coffee enema, they need to do the 6-day advanced water fasting challenge, because to release autophagy and stem cells so that they can heal themselves, because healing is only self-healing. I can't heal anyone. I can give them information, but I am not the healer. My information is the healer, but the true healer is your body, and it's God-given. It's innate, Bill. It's innate. It's inside of you. It always was. So are you creating the perfect day in every way on an emotional and physical level? Or are you eating like the majority? Are you thinking like the majority? Well, then guess what? You get what the majority gets. And like I said, if you want different, you better be different. And I'm not saying that I'm the guy for you. I'm not saying my way's the right way. I'm sharing my way. So you need to understand, I'm not the right way. You are the way. When you realize that you've been asleep and you wake up to the fact that nobody's coming to save us. Nobody. And if you think a mask is saving us, if you think that this vaccination, which is not a vaccination, truly, if you did your research. It's not for me, but I'm not going to tell you what to do, and I'm not going to judge you for that. You can wear a mask. You can do the 6-foot rule. You can believe that the whole world is dying from COVID, and none of us are going to survive this. But what good is that going to do? And like I said, why don't you check with the tens of thousands of professional medical doctors, scientists, and researchers around the world that are being shut down and not being allowed to be on the media to tell their story. The only ones that are allowed to be on the media, because there's only 4 corporations that own all the radio stations and TV stations around the world. So you're getting a very narrow view, and that narrow view might be taking you down. Next question. I have been diagnosed with rheumatoid arthritis. Can you help me rid this disease? Well, let's understand something. So rheumatoid arthritis. What is arthritis? It means inflammation of the joints. You can't have inflammation of your joints. And remember something, the worst circulation in your body is going to be in your feet and your hands usually, okay? Because it's not that close to your heart. So, and understand if the circulation's worse and you are always firing your adrenals, which means adrenaline, cortisol going into your body, and you didn't have a good diet and your bowel didn't have good tone, you'd be reabsorbing a lot of waste, wouldn't you? Well, why would you be having arthritis, which means inflammation in the joints, unless you had infection in the joint? And so what happens is people create scar tissue, crystallization, and displaced calcium, and that's what arthritis is made up of. Look, we can have people come to us that have like big nodules on their joints. The joints get bigger, thicker, they can't move them. You can get people with, we can have somebody come in with hammer hands. Okay, they're like this, or hammer toes, and we can straighten them out to about like this in one treatment. And understand, it all depends on how long they've had it and how much displaced calcium, how much scar tissue is being created. That means that the tendons, the ligaments, the cartilage is all turning into scar tissue. But guess what? Just as you created the scar tissue, you can reverse it. Just as you pulled the calcium from your bones, you can put it back into your bones. And I know how to do that. And I truly do know how to do that. You can call and get a consultation, or you could call me and I'll give you some help. I'll talk to you for maybe 5-10 minutes, and then you can decide whether we're worthy of your time. Okay, understand that. But guess what? If you created something, you can reverse it. There's the deal, eh? The body just forgot in the last 75 years to 100 years how to heal itself. Isn't that crazy? And understand it didn't. What? You don't think in the last 100 years between the all the EMFs, toxic EMFs, okay, all the new chemicals, all the new drugs, all the new poisons that have entered our water, our air, have no influence on us? So if you're not going to wake up to the fact that there's only one healer and that's you, then just get ready. And if you compare yourself to the majority of the population, wow, that's probably the worst decision you ever made for your life. And understand something. Unless you're going to turn the rock over, unless you're going to become a detective, a health detective, you're not getting it back. Unless you become a Braveheart and really fill your heart up with love and love your body enough to want to heal it, you're not going to help your family out. Because we're either giving them courage, love, or we're giving them fear. And most people are spreading fear right now. So arthritis, inflammation of the joints. Okay, we'll start off with arthritis, then we'll go to osteoarthritis, then we'll go to rheumatoid arthritis. So it's just things getting worse and worse because we're not getting the right care. Like I told you, okay, let's say you came to me with arthritis in your hands. I'll do one treatment, okay? In that one treatment, if I don't blow your mind and go beyond what you thought that a practitioner could do, you don't pay us. Now, why am I doing that? This is not a marketing technique. This is trying to tell you that practitioners do not understand the power of reversing the scar tissue back to connective tissue, the calcium back into the bones, and melting the crystallization. Okay, that's what you call taking your joint back. And you can do that on anything, whether it's your organs, your tendons, your ligaments, your muscles, your joints. I mean, we do it every day. Okay. Also, my daughter has been diagnosed with thyroid cancer. What could she do for this? Your help in this matter would be deeply appreciated. I understand that, but understand this. What if she had a mother who knew how to create the perfect day for herself to be an example for the daughter? What if she had a mother that actually knew that what you thought matters, that what you drink matters, that what you eat matters, that what you poop matters, how you poop matters, how you sleep matters. Learning to stay in the present moment, because unless you're in the present moment, you're not in your power. If you don't own your power, then somebody else owns you, right? Because if you're not in the present moment, you're either feeling guilt about what you should have done in the past, or you're fearing your future, which is, those two things aren't a very good outcome. Okay, what's a vitamin D light? Same as for seasonal allergies? Okay, all right. A vitamin D light is not the same as for seasonal allergies, but a vitamin D light with crystal plates in front of it. So if you go to if you go to store.docofdetox.com, and then you go in there and you click into EMF /energy, then you can go in and look at what's called a vitamin D crystal light. Now that gives off the vitamin D that the body needs. It's 6 foot tall, and it has crystals. And between the vitamin D and the crystal panels, you're going to get what you need to bring yourself back up. Now, but it's not a seasonal light, but it does much more than that when you add the crystal panels to it. Okay. Tracy, I need both knees replaced. I'm bone on bone. I'm scared because I'm covered in adhesions, my abdomen. Is there any way to heal my knees without replacing? Okay. Tracy, if you live in Canada, or if you want to fly from the States to us, or come to see us in May, we'll be here for 21 days in Playa del Carmen. We'll also be doing a course in Texas as soon as things open up and there's more free travel. But understand, I will work on you, or one of my master trainers will work on your knees. We will work on your knees for no more than 35 to 40 minutes each knee, and we will blow your mind, because I want you to get this. Okay, so let's say this was good muscle tissue, good tendons, good ligaments, good joints, lots of circulation. So let's say that that's what that is. So we've got lymph flow, blood flow, energy flow. What happens is through a glicky, sticky diet and a mind that terrorizes ourselves, dumping adrenaline and cortisol and histamines into the body, things get sticky. So fibers stick together. But then what happens? Well, when you're dumping adrenaline and cortisol into your body and you have an inflammatory diet, that's a fire, right? So if I were to put a steak on a barbecue and barbecue it, it would shrink this way and it would get thinner this way. Well, that's the same thing you're doing, okay? That's the same thing that you're doing to all the tissues. So if we go in, like with ion calcium therapy, you can find that in my library. Go to the ion calcium guide. If we go in there and use Wolfe Non-Surgical, which you can go in and watch the A to Z Wellness Masterclass. I explained the whole thing, okay? But Wolfe Non-Surgical is a technique using the elbow, going on a 45-degree angle. So we're going in and opening up the fibers. So I would be coming on a 45-degree angle, and we're going to open the fibers back up. And when you do that, you restore the blood, you restore the lymph, you store the energy. Guess what? You just take scar tissue and you just made it back into beautiful, connective, healing, vibrant tissue that now has elasticity. It has strength. It has flexibility. And that's it, eh? So here's the deal. What is old age? Stiffness. What is old age? Scar tissue. What is old age? It is displaced calcium. What is old age? Crystallization. So you can be old when you're young. So it all depends on the way you eat, think, drink, and live. Okay? All right? So understand, we can reverse the knees. If you want to get a consultation, you can go to my website and go to consultations, click on there, and a consultation is $150. And if you don't think that we've made a big difference with this consultation within 6 weeks to 3 months, I'll refund you your consultation. Is that good enough? Because understand something, you're more powerful than you think. So what we don't know is if we're undermining our own health. We're creating the speed bumps in our life because of disinformation. Is it dangerous to do a water fast? Jail. Well, no, it's not dangerous to do a water fast. In the 35 years I've been doing water fasting, I have had no one have anything except maybe some diarrhea, a headache, a bit of a fever, sore throat, but these are all healing things. See, the thing is what we think is pain is the enemy. Pain is not the enemy. Pain is a GPS. And if you've been taught that pain is the enemy, well, good luck with getting healing, because healing's just not going to happen. And understand something: a water fast, doing it properly. So JAEL, I don't know if it's jail, but you can go to my library and then go click on the 6-day advanced water fasting guide and go in and watch the videos. Go in and read the guide and spend some time. You know, like anything else, if you want to pass the test, you got to study. But people don't want to do that because they're not programmed for that. They're programmed for Band-Aid. Either just go for a treatment or take this and it'll fix you. Well, guess what? You were given a body, and if you don't learn how to master it, then somebody else is going to do it for you, and you may not like that. Addie, hi, doctor. Our family has experienced COVID virus right now. What can we take as a supplement? First of all, I call it a cold and a flu. And I'm going to tell you right now, I'm going to tell you what not to do. I'm not going to tell you what to do. How's that? The fun thing I would do is get rid of all inflammatory products like dairy, like sugar, like all flour products. Next thing is I would get yourself hot water and be drinking lots of hot water. And I would be putting some lemon in there, like let's say if it was a quart of hot water, I would put in probably anywhere from a tablespoon to 2 tablespoons of lemon, how you like it, 1 to 2 tablespoons of raw honey, and then I put a pinch of cayenne in. I'd be drinking that all day long. I'd be making sure that I get my rest. And if I was doing anything, I'd do healthy soups. I would do blender drinks with berries, and I would also do salads. Now, and I would make sure that anything that causes me fear, anything that causes me stress is eliminated, so that my body can actually use all that energy to bring my immune system back. Hey, you know as well as I do that if you're stressed out, you're not going to heal. So the reality is, if you're not in the present moment, you can't heal. So if you're worried about dying or worried about your sickness, you're not going to heal at all, because you're putting yourself into a fight, flight, fright mode. And when you do that, all your energy goes to your arms and legs, even if you're not running. Your body thinks you should run. And then when you run a fear program long enough and strong enough, you never come out of that fear program. So you stay in a sympathetic mode, which is not sympathetic to your needs. And you're not going to get well. Oh my God, I'm spending all this money on these products. I'm doing all this, this, and this. Yeah. Are you happy? Is there a slight smile on your face? Are you connected to your breath? Are you visualizing what you want to see in your life? Or are you visualizing what they told you to see? Okay. What can we take, supplement, and feel better? My husband lost his sense of taste while I was coughing, dry at night, but no fever. I hope you can help us. Now, if this would have happened a year and a half ago or a year ago, we wouldn't have as much intensity and as much fear about losing our life. I'm not telling you to laugh at things. I'm telling you to take massive personal action. I'd say get a consultation. If you don't want to do that, you don't have to, but it's $150. And just go on there for the whole family and get a consultation on how to strengthen your body against COVID, what I'd like to call the cold and flu. Okay, but please don't get upset with me when I do that. It's just that, guess what? When I believe it's a cold and flu, I know I can deal with it. When I deal with it like COVID and it's all this mystery and no one can figure it out around the world, that could be a really scary thing. And I'm not going to put my mind there because it'll become a landmine. May, is there anything that can block the vaccine if made mandatory? Well, first of all, I don't want to get into talking about the vaccine, but if you do your research, you'll find out it's not a vaccine. That's all I want to say. There's a breadcrumb for you. That's all I'm going to say. I'm not going to say any more because I don't want any bashing. This is about health. This is about me not getting political, and this is not about me. And this is not about me getting on here and pretending I know it all and trying to tell you to believe in me. I don't want you to believe in me. I want you to believe in you. You don't have to believe in anything I say today. Only take away which empowers you and makes you feel more love for yourself and for your family and for the planet. Okay? Tracy, how can I fix my frozen abdomen from 35 abdominal surgeries. I'm going to be honest with you. Do the belly button therapy, do the perfect day diet, which is in my perfect day guide in my library. Also, what I would suggest you do is do belly button therapy, do clapping, go get yourself a pelvic expander. Oh my gosh. And do my pelvic squats. I'm going to tell you right off the bat, that didn't cost you anything, did it? Next thing is with all those surgeries, this will. If you were to come to us or we were to send a practitioner to you and we could teach you and your husband or you and a family member how to do the Wolfe Non-Surgical, I promise you can totally reverse this. Remember something, abdominal surgeries cause more scar tissue than any other surgery, and they also cause more scar tissue than anything else you could do. So you've got all these 1 inch, 2 inch, half-inch roots growing off of those scars, strangling your digestive tract, wrapping it around maybe your ovaries, your bladder, your uterus, even around your gallbladder, your liver, your stomach. Let me tell you something. Abdominal surgeries will choke you off. You won't be able to digest or poop right. Making love can be a problem. Even moving either which way, it feels like somebody has tied you down. So there's the problem. I have to tell you that if you're not satisfied with the work we do, we'll refund you. The reality is we are the answer. Without us, you're never going to find it. I have never found anybody that does this work. Wolfe Non-Surgical, using the elbow on a 45-degree angle, it's a special technique. We can go in and we can take fibroids apart. We can take scar tissue apart. We can even get rid of the scars from the surgery. That's right. You know how they're looking white or they're looking kind of grayish, they're not healthy looking? How would you like them to look as the same as the rest of the skin in your body? And we can do that anywhere on the body. You name the place, we can do it, okay? And understand, 35, 40 surgeries, doesn't matter. We're gonna go in there and make that difference for you. Let me see here. Okay. Kyle. Nope, Tracy. Let me get caught up here. It's bouncing all around. So many are coming in. Jail, I'm constipated. Let me see, is that the next one? Yeah. I'm constipated. I'm constipated for 9 days now. What can I do? Well, right off the bat, that means you're dehydrated. And the chances are that you could have had surgeries like we were just talking about. If you have a surgery, that scar tissue will keep you constipated forever. So many people, so many women are taking laxatives, so many men are taking laxatives, or they're taking stimulants to try to poo. And understand, you got to poo. Listen, your poo is your computer. It tells you how healthy you are. And if you're not having 2 to 3 really good bowel movements a day and they're easy, then you're not living life the way it should be. Now, the scar tissue can strangulate the intestines. We know that. We know that your colon can fall down on top of itself. But all of these things create adhesions. If you didn't have surgery, you can still have adhesions because lack of toning your intestine, which causes what? Infection to come through the large intestine, and that means you're pooping into your abdomen and pelvis. And that infection creates inflammation, which creates adhesions. Are you with me? Okay, so I haven't pooed for 9 days. I would do a warm water enema. You better get the cork out, girl, because I'll tell you, you're looking at bladder infections or jail. I don't know if it's a girl or a guy. You're looking at bladder infections. You're looking at maybe endometriosis. You're looking at inflamed prostate. You're looking at cysts in your, you could have cysts in your pelvis. And definitely you're going to be looking at a lot of adhesions because where there's infection, there's inflammation. Where there's inflammation, there's irritation, and the body will have more mucus and more adhesions in that area. So go to the Perfect Day Guide. Start the Perfect Day diet. You can also take Arm & Hammer baking soda, 1 teaspoon, put it into a hot glass of water on an emptier stomach and stir that in about 10 ounces of water, 12 ounces, and drink that 3 times a day to start helping to bring your pH more alkaline, and it might help the bowels to move. But the reality is getting a coffee enema bucket, you'll see them on our website, and doing a warm water enema and start moving the waste out. And if you've been constipated like this for years, you've backed up that waste so bad on your liver's gucked up. So I would look after a while of doing warm water enemas to don't go and look in my perfect day, or you can look in the advanced water fasting guide, and you will see there that we actually talk about what's called the ultimate coffee enema. Yeah, now we're talking. Unleash the power, and nothing cleans out the liver better than that. Okay, but the reality is this. I would look into clapping. I'd look into belly button therapy. Look into the pelvic squats. Look at also look at getting a pelvic enhancer, and that's where we actually have one leg. You could actually get three chairs, lay on the three chairs, put one leg up on the door frame, and hang the other leg in the doorway to try to open up your pelvis, because there's no way, if you're not pooping for 9 days, you're jammed up and jelly tight, and we got to open that up. Okay. And the other thing is if you've had this going on for a long time, you need to get an abdominal lift, and you need to get a pelvic restoration with Wolfe Non-Surgical. Now I keep coming back to this, folks, but there's no body work like our body work, and I mean that in the best way. There just isn't. Now I got to find where I'm going here. There's so many questions coming in. Kyle, okay, can I fast without calcium ions? How do I get them? Well, first of all, you can do a water fast without any of our products. You don't have to use any of our products. You could just use water. But the reality is that with calcium ion therapy, which you'll see if you want information about it, you got to go into our library, go to the calcium ion therapy guide. And then if you want to purchase them, you got to call to us for them, because we're not allowed by the FDA to put them into our store. Hey, look, there is not one negative side effect with doing calcium ions. Just understand something. The reason why we can't put them on our store is because they're that powerful. I hope you're getting this. Go into my calcium ion guide. Go watch the videos. Look at the testimonials, and then ask yourself if I know what I'm talking about. We've got enough science here to prove that that's the only calcium product that anybody should ever be taking, actually. And you can look at Megagen, which is a maintenance product, or you can look at Merigen, which is the strongest one. And then there's other ones that are in between it for things like joint problems, Alzheimer's, development problems with children, autism, dental problems, what else? Autoimmune diseases. There's different products in there, and you can take a look at that. Okay. All right. Let me go back now and see what else we've got here. Okay. Tara, if you're watching, please do not send any more questions in until I ask. Okay, Drake, can you let her know, please? Nadia, how can I move on from abuse? It happened in my childhood from family. First of all, sweetheart, I get it. But everybody has had abuse in their family, even people who say they haven't had abuse in their family. And understand, it's not because families are cruel. It's not because families are bad. It's because we're all raised in a certain way. Like, my parents loved me the best they could, but I've taken beliefs that I got from my parents and I've gotten rid of them, because it's all about self-love and self-care. And to really self-love and self-care, you're going to have to forgive them, forgive yourself, and you're going to have to tell a new story. You're going to have to say to yourself, and this is the deal, those who abused me believe they were in survival mode, or they believe that that's what love was. I know. Are we kidding here? Really? Okay. Are you trying to tell me, Dr. Wolfe, that person believed that they were loving me? Yeah, in the way that they were loved. So understand something. You can't take things personal. Okay. You've got to move on from this. And you know what? You feel violated. You feel tortured. And understand, like, women that have been raped, women that have been beaten by their men, it doesn't happen as much with men, does it? Okay. So they don't move on. They tell the story to themselves all the time, and they fear that. If you get going and that story becomes your main story, then it will destroy your life. It'll destroy your life. You have to tell a new story. Remember something. What did I tell you? I said that if you tell a story long enough and strong enough, it becomes your whole life. So understand, those things in our life that were celebrations, we remember those very clearly. But I don't know why, but we remember our traumas even clearly. But you're going to have to take that trauma, and you're going to have to take that into a Braveheart warrior story and turn that around. I know it's hard. I had to do it. I was sexually abused. And you know what? I felt disgusted. I really hated my mother for it. And then I realized that this is the world we live in. And I needed to change my world the way I thought, or I would rot, first from my mind and then my body. Hey, listen, nobody is ever going to have health if they have an unhealthy story, and that unhealthy story they tell themselves on a continual basis. I need you to get that. Go into my library and take a look at the four pillars of self-love. And then if you think you want more, then what I'd like you to do is go watch the 12 loving steps. But the four pillars of self-love are this. Order yourself some Braveheart love bands. Braveheart, 3, 2, 1, I got this. That's the, no, I approve of myself. No, that's history. This is the new me. No, I forgive them. I send them love. I release them. I got this. My story is about self-love, self-care, and moving forward and shining that light on everyone else. I am going to change that story into my story. I'm going to tell you, you can go to therapy for all your life for damage that's been done, or you can become the therapist and rewrite the prominent thought in your brain. I just want to take a minute with this. Understand something. So your subconscious, which is 90% of your brain, its job is what? To house prominent beliefs. Those prominent beliefs make your personality. They create your reality. They create your disease, or they create your healing. I I feel bad for you. I do. I really do. But the reality is, if you don't change this story, you're not getting out of here. What is the vibration? What is the emotion that's attached to that? Well, that's going into 50 trillion cells and 500 trillion bacteria. So if you think you're going to have a good life, you can forget it. So that's where you'll hear about, you know, unconditional love, forgiveness, total forgiveness. These things really do matter. And understand this. Somewhere along the line, you said I could come down here to this fun-filled adventure called Planet Earth, and you could win the day. Okay, so now you've fallen down. Now you've got your war story. Okay, now where's your hero story, sweetheart? You can also call and get a consultation from us, an emotional one if you'd like. And with all our consultations, once you've done an emotional or nutritional, you've got lifetime support from us. So understand, we charge $150. So don't anybody out there tell me that this is a money-making deal, because I'm making a big deal out of this. The day that I can't really serve humankind, I'm not in this business anymore. So if it ever comes to that, I'll walk away in a New York second. So I'm either going to do it right or not at all. Let me go back, everyone. It jumps all over the place. Nadia, you can call me when I get back in a week too, if you'd like to talk to me for 5, 10 minutes, and we'll see where we're going with this. But understand something. You deserve to totally love, honor, and respect yourself, and understand that you need to take full control of this and rewrite your story. In my 12 loving steps, do the four pillars first. But in there, I teach you how to go back and rewrite the story. But you can't do that until you practice 3, 2, 1, I got this. Because when you count backwards, it doesn't allow your subconscious to bounce into your, I mean, it doesn't allow your conscious mind to bounce into your subconscious to tell the damn story again. And let me tell you, the more you tell the story, just like this. Oh, this poem, I'd like to learn this poem. So I'm going to repeat the poem twice. Would I know it? I'm going to repeat it 200 times. I'd probably know it pretty good. What if I repeated it 10,000 times? I'd be saying it in my sleep and I would never miss a beat. So you've told that story 10,000 times. So now it's the most prominent thing in your life, and life has become a terror. But the real terrorist is your story. Okay. Drake, if you haven't told Tara, I can't take any more questions today. I'll do more tomorrow, everyone. Tomorrow I'll be doing another live Q&A at 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. And then that will be it until I won't be doing any more shows, but I'll do one a days, okay, until I get home and on Monday. Okay, thank you very much, everyone, about that. Let me see here. Dawn, Dr. Wolf, when I do a water fast for 7 days, I do a coffee enema starting on the second day and around the fourth. I would do a coffee enema right away. And I would do a coffee enema even prior to starting the water fast. That's just me. Remember something, these are just all personal point of views. Okay. All right. Starting on the second day. She does it on the second day. And around the fourth day, I mix psyllium. I'm not keen on psyllium. For one thing, you better make sure you know where it's coming from. Most psyllium is not very high quality. I stopped using psyllium years ago. Okay. I would rather see somebody use the daily cleansing tea. Okay. All right. And remember something, you can do salt in the morning, do a teaspoon of salt with 16 ounces of hot water first thing in the morning. I do actually 32 ounces of hot water and I do a level tablespoon because I just want to flush it out. Somebody that has like a blood pressure problem would want to just use like a level teaspoon with a 12 ounce of hot water. Okay. And I don't have blood pressure problems. So, and I want to flush it out and I want those trace minerals. The rest of the fast, in a glass of water, and the rest of the fast, rid myself. What do I think? I don't know. I think doing a coffee enema every day is way better than any psyllium. And I would be doing probably 3 days to even 5 days prior to for myself, prior to the ultimate fast, I do a coffee enema every day, right? Why not go in there and make sure we got the plaque, the waste coming out? And why don't we go in there and start contracting the liver so that we can start flushing out the waste so we have more energy and we've purified our blood somewhat? That's what I would do. Okay. Jane, thought on blood cancer and fasting. Oh, I think it's amazing. I think that fasting's amazing. First of all, you're not going to do any damage, are you? And the other thing is, think about this. Your blood is what? Your blood is what? Your blood is like 98 to 99% water. So what happens when you go on a water fast? You're only doing water and you're doing a lot of it. And you might be doing other things like I like this is the way I do it. You can do it just with water, but we use structure water. We use fulvic acid concentrate because doesn't turn on the digestive tract. I also use calcium ion therapy. It doesn't turn on the digestive tract. I also use Ormus minerals. They're more etheric, but I get my minerals that way. It doesn't turn on the digestive tract. Okay. And I also use ATP, which are life crystals, that doesn't turn on the digestive tract, but it tastes sweet and it bypasses the Krebs cycle. So my energy stays up. So that's the deal. You know, some people believe that you've got to see, I don't believe that suffering is the way to the Lord. And I also don't believe that suffering is the way to do a water fast. So those are the two things that I believe. And please don't shoot me for that. But that's my belief, just as you have your beliefs, and I'm going to allow you to have them. Please allow people to have their beliefs. If they're doing no harm to you or anyone else, then let's let everybody have their beliefs, no matter what the nationality, what the language, what the color, the way they dress, the way they do anything. Can we just let people be? Okay. Um, SIH, that's the name. Psi, maybe. What about fibroids? How can I get rid of them? Okay, really? Okay, first of all, everyone, fibroids, they can be found where? In the breast or in the pelvis. And understand something. Again, we're back to the perfect day diet. We're back to really mastering your mind, to master your emotions. But here's the big deal. Sai, if you live near us in Canada, or if you want to come to Mexico in May, or when we go to Texas, or if you want me to send out a personal treatment and training to you, we'll come out and, or if you ever come to us and you would like to, if you live near me, you come in and I'll work on your fibroid and then you can let people know, I won't charge you, and you can let people know what we just did. Because I'm going to tell you something. The first treatment, you're going to feel, wow, I feel lighter. I feel more circulation. I feel more movement. Oh my God, Dr. Wolf, I can't believe this. That's right. Because guess what? A block is a block is a block. And every block that we have is like a dam in the river. Every block we have is tying up our organs, especially if it's in your pelvis or in your abdomen. And if it's in your breast, you don't want that, because where there's a beaver dam, There's lack of circulation, lack of nutrition, lack of oxygen, and we don't want mutation. And if you've got a fibroid in your breast, I'm guaranteeing you that you're going to find that you have fat. It'll feel like fat under your arm, but it's not fat. That's your lymph nodes so jammed up because you've been backing your bowels up for years. Because guess what? If we were to teach everyone potty training 101, like every parent, and they were to tell their children that a scoop on poop is it's a computer printout, and if you have 2 to 3 really good bowel movements a day and you eat properly, that you will not. I mean, the Royal Society of Medicine, they did the research, and they said that 85% of all disease comes from a dysfunctional bowel. And you're going to say, I'm not constipated. Well, constipation doesn't mean you don't go. It means that not everything comes out. Let me tell you something. Do you feel bloated? Do you have gas? Do you have pain in your groin? Do you have bladder infection? Do you have ovarian cysts? Do you have scar tissue in your fallopian tubes and you can't get pregnant? Okay. Do you have constant pain in the same area in your abdomen? Okay. I could keep going, but you need to understand something. How could something become inflamed? Well, it would have to be infected. How could it get infected? Well, you'd have to be absorbing your own waste and understand. Just as the medical system turns a blind eye pretty well on the bowel, and also will use antibiotics in so many occasions. Natural health, it's all about the fiber. It's all about the frequency of the food. It's all about the vibration. It's all about the 2 to 3 good bowel movements. It's all about the structured water, food combining. It's all about the gentle lengthen, strengthen, and detox exercises we teach you. Understand something. Society gives you a bunch of BS, dysfunctional belief systems. Okay? All right? Right from exercise to diet to how to look after your body. I really truly believe that. That's my belief. Doesn't have to be yours. Yeah, you can get rid of any fibroid. Are you willing to go the distance and do the advanced water fasting properly? Not just a water fast. Are you willing to also do things like systemic enzymes like FiberClear that go in and eat up scar tissue? Are you willing to spend some money and get a perfect day consult? Understand, a fibroid is a tough ball of scar tissue. What do you think, that you can eat something or drink something or go to the doctor and take something that's going to go away? No. This is years of inflammatory infection. That's what it is. Donna, I have a Berkey water system. Will that water work? Yes, but I would still get a structure unit to structure it. And because it has a lot of carbon in it, we can actually become carbon addicted. Berkey will purify the water, but I would still get a structure unit. We give you a 90-day money-back guarantee. If it doesn't perform the way you want or for what you paid, send it back. And no money. I do not have one dime to spend. How do I get around this? Well, let's take a look at the food you buy. You're eating something, and understand something. You can believe this or not, and then tell me you can't afford organics. And I'll tell you that I eat one meal a day. I mainly drink water. Yes, I do other nutritionals. But the reality is once you master your mind, just think how much energy you save by not terrorizing yourself or letting the world terrorize you, because it's the end of the world, right? As we know it. Mark, how do you know when your vibration is high enough to stop toxic medication? Well, why don't you work with your doctor and tell him you'd like to wean yourself off. And if he doesn't want to do it, find a doctor that will. And then get yourself on the perfect day diet. And then start doing intermittent fasting where you don't eat until 11 or 12 o'clock. And you do lots of water in the morning, like at least 2 quarts. That's right. You know, it's the craziest thing. I'll tell people that on a fast, you know, women should do 3 to 4 quarts a day. And I'll have people calling me up and going, oh, my doctor told me that I would drown. Oh, really? Okay. All right. Just know this, that people have kidney problems in most cases because they don't drink enough water and they drink the wrong water. Okay. Jail, I need to know if I can take magnesium during the fast. Yes. But what kind of magnesium? And I'm not telling you to do ours, but our magnesium is called Mag Infusion. You take 2 little scoops, put it under your tongue. It heats up. You wait until it's watery. Then you swallow it. it will be absorbed into the system, and it's the most powerful thing. If you do two little scoops of our magnesium, put it under your tongue, hold it for 2 or 3 minutes, let it get really watery, you will feel as calm as a kitten. You will go to, if you can't sleep, do that 20 minutes before sleep. Do the belly button therapy, connect to Braveheart breathing, and you're going to sleep. Let me tell you something. This whole I can't sleep thing, welcome to an inflammatory mind, an inflammatory diet, okay, that is terrorizing you all day long. And you may be as tired as all get out, but your nervous system will not let you relax. You are full of anxiety. So you're overheating. Your system can't shut down. The mind, where the mind goes, the body follows. And as long as your mind stays with the beliefs that you believe, it doesn't matter. Right into your sleep, they won't be nice dreams. They'll be nightmares. Okay? All right. Let's keep going. Um, so understand, work with your medical doctor if you're on any type of drugs, okay? And then understand something. A perfect day diet and fasting, that's not going to hurt any medication. But you know what? Talk to your doctor, and let's all, teamwork makes the dream work, right? Okay, Travis, I need to start my own, but how without my children getting the vaccine? I'm not sure what he means. I need to start my own, but how without my children getting the vaccine? I can't make sense of this one. He needs to start his own. I'm not sure. Jail, I need to know if I can take. Okay, we did that one. Eleanor, thank you, Dr. Daryl. I've started the fasting, learning the food combinations. Let me tell you something. Okay, food corporations want you to make every meal into a buffet. They don't take in consideration about food combining, like animal products and animal proteins and even vegetable proteins like beans and lentils should not be mixed with starches. So you're not going to mix meat and rice, meat and potatoes, fish and rice. Okay, you're not going to do that. Well, you can, but you're going to feel tired after because it takes too much work because the starch enzymes neutralize the protein enzymes. So now instead of that money that you spent on that food, even if it's organic, it's going to sit and putrefy in your stomach and not in your stomach. Well, in your stomach, yes, because you won't be digesting it properly. So you're going to get bloated. Then it's going to go into your small intestine, then to your large intestine. And that's why you got stinky farts. Okay. That's why it's hard to poo. That's why you got diarrhea. That's why you're bloated. That's why nobody wants to go into the bathroom after you do. So when you eat fruit, eat it alone. When you eat melons, eat them alone. When you eat rice, you can eat rice with salads. When you eat proteins, you can eat them with salads. So you could have a protein, you could have a salad, and you could have steamed vegetables. What do you want? And understand something. You don't eat because things are good for you. You eat because of the way you've been programmed. You need to get that. If you were conscious of your thoughts, oh my gosh, I'll tell you right now, 80% of your day, you would change it up, maybe even up to 98% of your day. Okay. I'm in Australia, but can't order supplements in the list of fasting. Can you please advise alternatives I may be able to get locally? Okay, we'll take a look at the products we have and then go to a nature path or go to a health food store and get your products. Ever since COVID, they've been throwing our products out in other countries. They've been also saying we'll send the products back, but you got to pay the duties on them, Dr. Wolfe, and we'll send your products back. So we're hoping to get some way of getting around this. We're working on it. Gracie, should I start the fast if I'm taking binders to pull out mycotoxins? Diagnosed with mold toxicity and feeling very sick. No, I would go on the perfect day diet and do intermittent fasting. Go look at my perfect day guide in my library, okay? And then look at the 4 pillars of the perfect day and start bringing that in. But understand something right now. I'm going to tell you this. I've been hearing more about mold and mold and mold and mold, and understand one of the things that really causes mold in the body is after you do antibiotics. That's right, it changes yeast into fungus. The other thing that causes mold and bad bacteria and viruses and parasites is where's your vibration? Look, there's no parasite that's going to live in me. There's no virus that's going to live in me. I vibrate too high. You know what? If you understood that it's all about frequency, they've done that. They'll take a bacteria, they'll put it in a petri dish, they'll change the environment, and they'll make the bacteria into a deadly bacteria. Then what they'll do is they'll change the environment into a healthy environment and change it back into a healthy bacteria. Now understand something. This is the way it goes. And understand, why is mold growing? Well, you might be constipated, your liver might be backed up. Maybe your diet is not as clean as it should be. Maybe you're not drinking as much water as you should. Maybe all you're thinking about is the mold that you're growing in your body. And oh, wait a minute here. The thought that we have the most is the thought that we become the most. So if I'm thinking that I'm moldy all the time and always trying to get rid of mold, let me tell you, I got to tell you something. I got people that come to me and they're always on a parasite cleanse and the parasites always come back. Don't you think that they should change that swamp back into a beautiful lake? Okay, well, guess what? What came first, the swamp or the mosquito? Well, the swamp came first, then the mosquito. Let's get rid of the swamp, no more mosquitoes. And you can say, well, that's got nothing. Yes, it does. That's the whole scoop right there. Louis Pasteur on his deathbed said, forgive me for what I have done, because he lied. He lied. And he said, guess what? The terrain is everything. The bug is nothing. Okay. Genevieve, THC, CBD blend, when doing belly button therapy, what is the percentage of each? Well, you're just going to do you can do just 2 drops of THC, 2 drops of THC after you do the belly button therapy, or you can even put it in before, okay, and then do your belly button therapy to really stimulate, okay? Now, what does it do? Well, what we do is we tell people after they do the belly button therapy, which everybody, if you haven't heard of that, please go to my DIY do-it-yourself guide in my library on Doc of Detox, click on the library guide, and the belly button therapy will release 50% of your what? 50% of your dopamine, 70% of your serotonin, okay? And it'll do it in 5 minutes. That's right. And it's really easy, inexpensive to do. Go check it out. And then what you can do is you can put 2 drops of frankincense, and then 2 drops of or 1 drop of CBD, 1 drop of THC. So that makes 2 drops of 1 drop of each. Now, if you've got a big belly button, maybe you'll use 2 drops of each, okay? Maybe you use 3 drops of the frankincense. Now, what that does is it stimulates 72,000 nerve endings in your body, right from the tip of your nose to your toes. And what does that do? Increases your healing like crazy. Haley, my aunt had the vax last Thursday. By Friday, she hadn't woken up, was rushed to the hospital with a bleed on her brain. I'm not commenting, because if I comment, the people that believe in vaccination are going to say I'm taking a stand, and I'm not. I only take a stand for myself. And then if you're asking my opinion, I will give it. That's not what she was asking. Haley, I have broken myself from the system. I have cystic fibrosis. Any good advice? Well, right off the bat, I'd be making sure that I have gotten rid of inflammatory thoughts, inflammatory diet, looked at the perfect day, 4 pillars, looked at the Braveheart 4 pillars of self-love, self-care. This is all in my library. And the other thing I do, guess what? I'd learn how to do clapping. Go into my library and watch the video Clapping for Health and start taking that really seriously. But guess what? If you've got cystic fibrosis, there's so much you could do. You can get a consultation from one of my consultants, $150. And then we're going to stay with you. And if you don't feel that we've way out surpassed that money you spent, we'll give you your money back. Don't even call me. Just call extension 8, talk to Lori. She'll refund you. Now, what if you came and you got Wolfe Non-Surgical? Because whether you want to believe it or not, what if I told you that if I spent 30 minutes to 45 minutes working in between your ribs, above your lungs, and in that area, okay, that we would increase your lung capacity breathing by 30%? Who can do that? Remember, I just said that. Okay, so I don't care. You can challenge me, everyone. But listen, if you're going to challenge me, and if you're going to tell me that I'm lying or that I made this up, then make sure that you're going to come and see me, and I'll do a live, whether it's in Texas, whether it's in Mexico, whether it's Kelowna, where we have our clinic, Okay, I'm in Playa del Carmen, so if somebody wants to come here in Playa del Carmen and they want me to do a live on them, I'll do it to prove that I know what I'm talking about, and I mean that in the nicest way. But you know what? I don't blame people. If it's the first time you see something, why should you believe it? But once you believe it, once you see it, you will believe it. Um, Parvana, hi. Can we drink black coffee with water fasting? Let me tell you something. If it means that you are going to continue the fast, do it. But can you do me one favor? Can you do 1 ounce? Can you do like 2 ounce and call it a therapy? But can you make sure you don't do it first thing? Can you do like 16 ounces to 32 ounces of hot water with some with a teaspoon of Himalayan salt or real good sea salt or real salt? Can you do that first so we can flush out? Okay. And then do you promise me that after you drink the 1, 2, 3 ounces, try to keep it small just to stop you from having a headache, okay, or going into your addiction twitches, that you're going to drink water and get right to the program for the rest of the day? Okay. Remember something. Sounds like an addiction to me, right? And I'm not telling you that it's wrong. I've got addictions too. Just know that. We all have addictions in life and we're kind of always working with them. It's a fine line because I like coffee, but I don't want but if I drink it too much, I become addicted. So it's a fine line. Beth, what do you do about weakness, lightheadedness during the fast? Well, first of all, if you were doing ATP, the Ormus minerals, and you were doing the fulvic, even just those three, and you weren't even doing the calcium ions, guess what? Even if you're just doing the ATP, you're not going to have that. If you're doing the ATP and the fulvic and the Ormus, which is not expensive, you're only doing the fast for a short period. You're not going to have this. And if you do have it, just drink more water, breathe deeper, do the lion heart breath, 6 seconds in, 7 seconds out, and then guess what? Why not every 5 minutes? Every half hour, you lay your head down or close your eyes and let it go. Let it go. Okay? That's what I'd suggest. And if you feel lightheaded, please go sit down. Make yourself comfortable. Don't push yourself. And understand, if you feel lightheaded, you probably are a little bit hypoglycemic. So take a look at your diet when you come off the fast. And eventually the hypoglycemia will go away. And hypoglycemia is caused because of an inflammatory diet. Too much flour, too much sugar, too much dairy. Oh, yeah, Dr. Wolfe, you can't get hypoglycemia from too much dairy. Oh, yes, you can. Okay, it's creating an inflammatory response in the body. Okay, and jacking the body up. Okay, Bernadette, do you have store online like for books and advice to get? Okay, you can go and download my Healthy to 100 book PDF for free, or you can buy it for $15 online in our store. And if you go to store.docofdetox.com, you'll find all our products. But guess what? The biggest free self-healing, self-love library is in my website. Just click on library and then go and jump in and then find out how powerful and beautiful you truly are. Do you have a store? Got it. Yvette, good afternoon, Doc. I had to stop my fast this morning as I am doing another 16-hour shift. That's right. You know what? Love yourself well. Oh my God, I'm going to see this through even if it kills me. What? You're going to what? No, you're not. Thank you, Yvette, for using your head, okay, and for loving yourself. I have been on the perfect day diet since last July, and during my fast on the third day, I stopped pooping. I was doing the enema and sometimes daily cleansing tea. Is that normal? Yes, it is. Listen to me. Now we'll go back again. I'm doing another fast in March. So if you want to come on March, you're going to find out it's going to go easier because guess what? Repetition is the key. Your subconscious is going, oh, fasting doesn't kill us. I thought it did. Oh my God, we can go without eating and we won't die. We can drink this much water and we won't drown. Oh my God. Yeah. Repetition is the master and the key to everything in your life. If you want to become an Olympian, then you got to practice it. You want the gold medal, you got to get your brave heart on and you got to see it through and you got to hold the line. People aren't holding the line. My God, just think if everybody held the line. Just think if everybody got rid of their addictions. Just think if everybody got rid of the inflammatory foods, and just think if everybody shut the Wi-Fi off at night before they went to bed. Just think if they actually connected to their lion heart breathing. Just think if they snapped this and went, I love and approve of myself. I got this. That's a kiss. This is a hug. I'm hugging myself all day. And you know what? I hear that they're going to make kissing illegal in public. So this is how I'm going to get away with it. And guess what? You can think whatever you want. I'm going to love this guy with all my heart. I'm going to forgive this guy for everything he's done, but he's going to learn. He's not going to burn, but he's going to learn his lesson and he's going to grow. And the only way I can grow is consciously. You can't grow subconsciously. And understand, you're not growing if you're not changing your beliefs. Did you hear what I just said? You're not growing if you don't change your beliefs. You're not growing if you don't bring your vibration up. And you're not growing if you don't meet new people and let go of old people. You're not growing if you don't let go of old dietary habits and bring in new ones. Okay? Understand something. I am the creator of this life. Tell you what, only 8 days ago. No, well, let me see here. What was it? Yeah, it was about 8 days ago. And I said to Lori, I said, you know what, Lori? We got to get out of Dodge. I don't know why, but we got to go down to Playa del Carmen, get this 21-day training put together. Wait till you see the videos I'm going to send you. You know what? I had no idea. I mean, I did. I had videos sent to me, I had pictures sent to me. I was told this. They walked me around on a FaceTime. Okay, when I show you, tomorrow I'm just going to show you some FaceTime stuff. But when you see the video I come back with, 10 cenotes, waterfalls, wait till you see the training center. Wait till you see where you could come and stay and sleep in this jungle house, where you can actually come and you can sleep in these huts they're making and get the real jungle experience. Okay, so you can be able, you could stay at the Hyatt right here, okay, or you can go to what's called Soho, okay, and take a look at the Soho. At the top floor, they've got a room for 30. They've got a pool. They've got a beautiful sauna. And guess what else they have? Right beside it is a place that's called Greens and Fit. Go take a look at that. And you can stay in that hotel and you can eat the best food, organic, all day long. We'll pick you up. We'll bring you to Yakima, which is the most, I think, the most beautiful place I've seen in my travels. And I know you're going to think I'm exaggerating, and I've been around the world. We have found Shangri-La. So we have one question left to do. Grant, I have a bad heart, had surgery on it, stents 20 years ago, and then pacemaker, 2006, 2014. The reality is this, and I'll just say this, Grant. You can call me when I get home in a week, but the reality is Grant, the heart is the recorder of all your relationships. She broke my heart. My heart's in pieces. My heart hurts. Okay? My heart is empty. Okay? I've got heartbreak. I've got heartburn. Okay? So understand that. So understand this. No matter about the stents, no matter about the pacemaker, you can always make your heart better because it's still alive. We're still alive. As long as you're alive and breathing, understand something. You haven't even begun to live your potential. And I'm talking to everyone out there. You haven't even begun to live your potential because when you realize that you have unlimited potential, okay, when you realize that you have unlimited potential, that will be the day, okay, that will be the day that you rise to your greatness. That'll be the day that you actually find, okay, that you find that brave heart inside yourself, okay? So understand that. Now, I'm going to bring you over to Ward. Now, Ward is the gentleman who has put this all together, and he is an amazing person. And without him, this isn't going to happen. And Ward's just going to tell you a little bit. Okay, and I actually said the place wrong. Go figure. He'll tell you all about it. Here we go.
Hi, everyone. Well, we're going to be taking you on a journey, a spiritual journey that you've never experienced before in the mystical Mayan jungle, but only a few minutes from the beautiful beaches of Playa. We plan on giving you Mayan ceremonies and cacao experiences, seeing cenotes, and of course the beautiful beaches will be part of it. But I think you'll be mystified by the beauty and the spiritual energy of the place. We hope you have a great time there.
And pronounce the name properly.
Yakuna,
Yakuna.
which means love in Mayan. So you'll be staying and learning in the village of love.
So here's the deal. It's all about the love, isn't it?
It
It's
is.
all about the love. When you see this place and the life force that comes from this jungle and how beautiful it is, and all the way through the trails that you'll be walking and these cenotes, you will see works of art that are so beautiful.
Mhm.
And the people that own it, they're truly spiritualists, aren't they?
Most everyone that has decided to live within this community already are artisans and shamans and healers and art contractors and architects. So we've created a very mystical language of architecture already on the property, and we're hoping that as we move into the future, our wellness spas and other real estate will reflect what already is there, which is a very avant-garde architectural form combining East Indian and Balinesian architecture with Mayan jungle wood construction and stonework. So it's very, very special.
Thank you, Ward.
Thank you so much.
So if I can just say this before ending, everyone, this isn't about real estate. This is about human real estate. This is about feeding the spirit. This is about living the life that you thought that you could, but now we can. So I'm going to be part of this, and we're going to be building communities, not just here, but we're going to be doing communities everywhere, everywhere where you can come and experience it. And when you see the way we're going to price this, it truly is about the human spirit. So I'll be back here tomorrow at 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, and we'll probably do it right here where the Wi-Fi is really strong. And find your strength, Braveheart. Stand in your power, and know that the present moment is where you belong, because when you're there, you become the gift to the world. God bless everyone, and have the best day of your life. How would it feel to you? Better still, how would it change your life to be certified in the most powerful training in regards to the emotional and physical body? Whether you're coming to us to enhance your clinic, or for personal growth, or finally, to live your passion and purpose as a natural health practitioner, you are only limited by your beliefs, but that ends today. We will be holding this New World Practitioner certification in the amazing Casa del Agua facility, 15 minutes from Playa del Carmen in the beautiful Mayan Riviera of Mexico. Can't wait to see your smiling face. Give me a call.
Sage is by far the best teacher I have ever touched base with. I've done a lot of courses out there, a lot of programs, a lot of emotional work, mystery skills, but this really touches, it kind of bridges the emotion and the physical component together.
He's fun and he's thorough, and he doesn't, he's making sure that you know the techniques. And so when we walk away from this particular course, and we walk away, we feel confident, and he has given us that confidence.
I took my Touch for Health training in probably about 20 years ago. I also incorporate that into my practice, but it doesn't deal with the crystallization, inflammation, and calcification. So that's why I said that this is kind of the missing puzzle piece that I needed to help people get to their optimal health.
That's the moment where you leave and you become a complete professional in what you do and in your business. You leave with the ability to be a total professional at what you do.
You can deal with the emotions and let that go. Two, I can deal with the physical. But what we're doing with this non-surgical is you're combining the emotion and physical together.
And this is the component that now I can help others. And now I'm here, and I am trained, and I am certified, and I can take this and I can help you.
something about this spoke to me so true. The mind-body connection and being energy beings. It's profound, and I want to share it with others so that they can have the tools to feel this love and heal themselves.
And you as a practitioner or doctor will be that guide to help see them transform and help support them through their conflict resolution, I call it, or making peace with things that have been unresolved.
Give me a call. This is your time to shine. Just remember, all questions matter because your life matters. You matter. If you're looking for life-saving and life-changing information, well, you've come to the right place. Don't forget to click and subscribe. Stay connected.